Good morning. Morning. This is Thursday, May the 2nd, 2019. And we're still reading in our book there, Ascalia, Born for Love. Did you? Anyway, we're going to start off with reading. And I guess we're going to have to let me be excused for just a second here. Just a short interruption there. My little dog Rascal had to go outside and do his job. So we will continue here. And the first one I'm going to start off with is called Predictability and Love. Since human behavior is unpredictable and volatile, there can be no certitude in love. People grow, gain new insights, change directions, awaken to new needs, and unfortunately, changes are inevitable. Profound as these changes may be, they are often subtle, and we can be unaware of them until we are shocked that the person in whom we have invested so much of our lifetime has become a stranger. We wonder when it all happened, or label it as a stage or crisis. We are not prepared to accept the idea that someone we love has changed. However, imperceptibility, and we've been out of touch with it. What is clear is that relating brings with it an element of risk and uncertainty. Those who find that disconnecting or disconcerting are perhaps prone to taking their love for granted. Others of us accept unpredictable behavior even in the people we know intimately. Rather than seeing it as some ominous sign of an altered personality, we can accept, even celebrate, a new and undiscovered facet of them. Anyway, predictability is a bore. There's a quote by Dale Carnegie: "Take a chance. All life is a chance. The man who goes the furthest is generally the one who is willing to do and dare. And that just happened to be the last one on that particular segment. So the next segment is going to be called Love is Far Less Concerned with What's Past than with What's Next. And my little guy, he's talking to the neighbor dog. The neighbor dog is over there making a lot of noise, I guess. Yeah, it's okay, Rascal. Come here. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, come on. If you haven't met the little guy, there's the little guy. That's my Rascal. He's the one that's making all the noise, and he's looking around and checking things out. He's just a cute little boy. Yeah, aren't you a cute little boy, Rascal? Yes, you are. Yeah. Yeah, you're cute. You cute little guy. Okay, I'll put you back down so you can go check everything out because I know you're listening very carefully. Ah, okay. So the first segment that we're going to read here, make sure I haven't slipped the page here somehow, because that occasionally happens. Oh. So the first one I'm going to read in our new section is called Overcoming Adversity with Love. Adversity requires action. Loving action brings solutions. The strength of our love is revealed in how we deal with problems and frustrations. It's easy to be pleasant and positive when all is flowing beautifully in our lives. It's when life's current changes and temporarily overpowers us that our real strength is called upon. Love builds the best survivors. It teaches us not to waste time asking, why me? But rather suggest we ask, what now? The first question produces needless, meaningless conflict. But the second suggested acts without the burden of self-pity, pity, and meaningless blaming. Adversity is seldom the cause of failed relationships. If there is love, rather, it is actually what helps us to change and survive. There is a quote by Joseph Fort Newton. He says, "We cannot tell what may happen to us in the strange melody of life, but we can decide what happens in us, how we can take it, what we can do with it. And that is what really counts in the end." Yep, adversity is no stranger in life. It's just something that comes, and I like to think goes. It comes and it goes. It's never there forever and ever. It's just there for a short time and moves on. Okay, the next little segment that I'm going to read is called Love and Faith. Where there is no faith, there can be no love. Love, like faith, demands confidence without assurance. As with all things spiritual, there can be no certitudes. For faith goes beyond reason and evidence, and love is above even these. If we need them, there are many simple proofs of the evidence of love in our daily lives. We plant a seed and it becomes a flower. We touch someone and they grow in strength. We wipe away tears and learn to smile again. We begin to be comfortable with love only when, deep in our hearts, we fully accept its reality. Love hasn't a chance if we are forever questioning it or requiring it to be validated. Pascal said that faith is different from proof. The latter is human, the former is from God. And then a quote from Antony de Saint Expert: "It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." Again, a moment for contemplation. I really, as I say, enjoy this because it's every little segment that you read is truly something that you could think about, contemplate about, probably for a long time if you wanted to. Uh, the words are straightforward, and they say exactly what needs to be said. Very, very interesting book, I might add. Okay, the next segment that I'm going to read is called The Role of Beauty in Love. Though it is surely true that love brings beauty into our lives, it is also true that beauty serves to enhance our love. Each utilizes and maximizes the other. Is there anyone so insensitive as to be completely oblivious to the beauty around us? It is so abundant, so striking, even in the most mundane things. We need only look to find it. Beauty enlives the commonplace. Through beauty, we become more aware. Our spirits are raised. Our hearts are enriched. Our souls are nurtured. Beauty experienced, appreciated, and shared is always an expression of love. A quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson: though we travel the world over to find the beautiful, we must carry it with us or we find it not. True, true, true. I know, Rascal. I hear him. We got the guy who cuts the grass that showed up. It looks like he's out there running the machine and cutting some grass. So, as long as he's out there making noise, Rascal's going to talk to him. Yeah, and that's cool. Have to add a little excitement to our experience here, don't you think? Okay, the next segment that I'm going to read is called Making Love Known. An unforgettable incident occurred for me in a classroom at the University of Southern California, where I taught for many years. A student in my class was diagnosed by his hello, hello. It appears to be a Sandy.
I guess I need sound if you want to hear me.
I can hear you with the music in the background and everything. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, other than the guy out there cutting grass for us and Rascal talking to him.
Is the snow gone?
The snow's completely gone, yes. It's up to 65.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I say. Cold and snowing one day and 65 the next. Crazy weather.
Pretty nutty.
Yeah. But every time the guy comes around to do the, cutting the grass and everything, then Rascal has to talk to him. Because he hears him out there. Yes, I know. I hear him too, Rascal. Come here. Come here. Oh. Yeah, come up here. Hey, you want to say hi? Put your little paws up there.
Hi, Rascal. Your little fluffy bundle.
Yes, he's a little fluffy bundle. He's just a little cutie pie.
He is.
Yeah. All right, I'll put you back down so you can bark at Rusty. You want to bark at Rusty? Huh? Do you? Okay. You get down there and bark at Rusty. Anyway, I'll start again where I was reading. And we're in a different segment now, and it's called Love is Far Less Concerned with What's Past than What's Next. And the one I started with is called Making Love Known. An unforgettable incident occurred for me in a classroom at the University of Southern California, where I taught for many years. A student in my class was diagnosed by his doctor as having muscular dystrophy, which in his case was progressive and terminal. he was given no hope for recovery. All that he was assured of was that his last months of life would be made as painless and as comfortable as possible. Though this news was devastating for him, he remained positive. He was determined to live his final days as normally as possible. Toward the end, he would come to class deeply sedated, disorientated, and obviously frightened.
Wow.
When he realized that his class attendance was becoming impractical, he made an unusual request. He asked that each of his classmates embrace him one last time. No sentiment, however, beautifully and thoughtfully expressed, seemed to mean as much to that young man as those brief moments of tenderness.
Mm.
We were all reminded how very fragile our lives are and how vital it is that we make our love known, no matter our age or condition of health. To withhold love for any reason is to deprive others of the very best we have to give. To do so for even a day diminishes a relationship. To wait a lifetime is the greatest of human tragedies. Quote by Samuel Johnson: "Let him that desires to see others happy make haste to give while his gift can be enjoyed. Remember that every moment of delay takes away something from the value of his benefactor." Yes, yes, yes. Such a deep, deep relational type book.
Yeah. Sad.
I gave Dave the exciting news. I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I just weigh myself once a month because I don't believe in getting hooked up on weighing myself every day, trying to watch it go up and go
No, it's
down.
pretty disappointing every day.
Yeah, it that's the key. It can be very disappointing. But anyway, I weighed myself. Usually it's the first day of the month. And as of January 1st, I weighed 257 pounds. As of May 1st, I weighed 243 pounds.
Oh, wow. So you
So,
lost a good bit.
so in the last 4 months, I've lost somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 pounds.
That's fantastic.
I was kind of tickled.
Yeah, I would be too. That's great.
Yeah, not bad.
I
Uh,
ordered some of that red Organifi. I'm going to try that. And I have the keto fat burning pills that I'm going to use at night because they're
yeah,
supposed to help you sleep. I don't sleep well anymore. So
yeah.
they're
I was
supposed
actually reading the label on that, and I was
to.
surprised because it's not only a fat burner, but it has what do they call it? Menatoin, Menatoin.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it right, but
Yeah.
everybody knows what I mean.
Mhm.
And it's just an additive of some kind that helps you sleep. And so every night now, for at least the last month, oh, excuse me, uh, I make sure that I take it just before I go to bed.
Oh,
And
well, that's good to know. And it's helping you?
and yes, I do sleep better.
Oh, good.
Now, unfortunately, because of my age, I still end up getting up once or twice during the night to go potty, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's just something I gotta live with.
yeah.
But because of the pill, at least last month anyway, in April, I would have to say that there was at least 3, maybe 4 nights that I went to bed, usually somewhere between 7 and 9. It varies from day to day. But at least 3 to 4 nights out of the whole month, I went to bed and slept till I woke up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So
Hmm.
that's kind of unusual because I'm usually up, every night like clockwork to go pee. But in
Yeah,
this case, I spent at least, like I say, 3 or 4 nights out of the month where I just slept right straight through the night. That was pretty cool.
good.
Yeah. So I thought I'd pass that on because it's the,
Yeah, I'm glad to know that because I'm.
yeah, and I won't weigh myself again until June 1st.
Well, what are you taking to lose weight?
That one, the night one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in the morning, I do take my Vinco. I take one of those and I mix it with grape juice or strawberry juice or orange juice or
Mm.
something. And then I drink that every morning. But other than that, um, well, I'll have to say this: I haven't drank any coffee since the first of the year, and only because not because I don't like coffee, but I just can't because I've tried it several times. I quit drinking coffee and then I'd start drinking coffee again. And what would happen is I'd go maybe a week or two drinking coffee with no sugar, and then lo and behold, before you know it, I got to have that teaspoon of sugar. So
Oh,
yeah, so it's not the coffee, it's the sugar. And the only way to get rid of the sugar is to get rid of the coffee. It's just,
well, I'm using. Friend of mine told me about stevia. She
oh,
says it's
stevia.
she said it's probably the only sugar substitute that doesn't hurt you in any way. So I've been using that, and
Yeah.
because I like coffee, and I use half and half in my coffee, but it's not a whole lot. Or I use the sugar-free cream, or if I can't, like if I'm out, that's all they have.
Yeah.
But I I can't give up coffee, so I'm not going to bother to
Yeah,
try.
I might have to try the stevia because I do like coffee and I miss
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty good. It's
Uh, but if I buy that stuff, I know one time I went and bought it at regular grocery store and I said, man, compared to sugar, that stuff is expensive.
mm,
Um, but then I went to Costco. And of course, I have several friends here that go to Costco periodically, and they're really nice because there was something, it was last year, it was either November or December, and there was something I wanted. And I asked them to get it for me. Well, hell, it only cost me $12, but I got a whole friggin' case, you
mm,
know. Whereas if I'd have bought it at the store, it wouldn't have cost $12, it would have cost 36.
ew,
So it's really a good deal to be able to get at Costco. So
yeah.
maybe the next time they go to Costco, I'll see if he can get me a big old case of that stevia stuff that probably would last me a year, maybe even two.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because it's big, and I think, God, I can't be sure, but I think the last time I did that, and because that was about 5 or 6 years ago, and that's when I had my own membership with Costco, and I bought a big old box of that stuff, and it was about $20, 22, $24,
Mm,
somewhere in that neighborhood. But hell, that box lasted me way over 2 years.
gosh.
Because the way the box was, when you open it, there's just a little tiny thing in there, and you take it, tear it open, and pour it in your coffee. And, you don't measure it, you don't do anything. It was all
Right.
individually little wrappy things. And
Oh,
yeah, so
yeah.
I really liked that. It worked out great.
Well, I just use the other kind, the kind that you spoon out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use either one. It just happens at Costco at that time when I was there. That's what they had on the shelf. I said, well, hell, I'll do that. What the hell? And it worked pretty good. And I don't know if you have a Costco membership or a Walmart,
I
Sam's.
don't. It just, every time I go in there, I used to spend $100, and I said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I
Well,
give.
yeah. When I had my Costco membership, I only went there maybe once every 3 months.
Yeah.
And when you spend $50 for a membership, every time we went to Costco, I probably spent $300 or $400,
Yeah.
and it worked out great because, especially with canned goods like soups and peas and vegetables and stuff like that,
Mm.
sure, I'd go spend $400, but I'd have canned peas and vegetables and carrots and all that good stuff that would last me almost a year.
Yeah.
So, and when you broke it down, and I'm buying a can of peas for, oh, let's say what, 18 cents a can. When you go to the
Mm.
store, it's 79 cents a can. That's a
Yeah.
big savings.
Yeah, it is.
But
Definitely.
again, you got to buy in bulk and you got to buy a lot. So, and since it was out of town, hell, if I'm going to take the trip to go out of town to go to Costco because it's 60
Mm.
miles away, you better believe I'm going to spend 300 or 400 bucks,
Yeah. Yeah.
or it's not worth the trip.
Yeah. Well, I just and I don't buy a whole lot of groceries anymore. Melissa and Kevin buy pretty much what they want. I'm not home that often for dinner anymore, so
Yeah.
you know. So I really don't need it. And Doug's girlfriend has the Sam's membership, so they use that, and
Yeah.
I get
Sam's is another one that's pretty good.
yeah. So if I ever need anything like that, I could use theirs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and we'll start the next one.
Okay.
And it's called, and I'm not sure whether Reverend Day is going to make it in here or not. He said he was going to try. Anyway, the next one is called Forgiveness Begins Where Blame Ends. I was watching two children having an argument the other day. They were quarreling over some insignificant thing, as we often do. Their dialogue went something like this: "You're stupid." "Well, so are you." "Not as stupid as you." "Oh, yeah? That's what you think." After they finished this exchange, they went their separate ways. When I returned to the site not more than 10 minutes later, they were playing together again, having forgotten the whole thing.
Mhm.
No brooding, no wounded egos, no blame, no dredging up the past, no recrimination. There it was, a brief and honest exchange of angry feelings, an even briefer cooling off period, and all was forgotten. Children are certainly much more forgiving than adults. Somewhere in the process of growing up, we seem to have become experts at holding grudges, cradling fragile egos, and unforgiving natures. We develop razor-shaped memories of past wrongs and carry them around, ready at a moment's notice to use them as ammunition. We become skilled arguers with an unyielding sense of what is right. We are determined to win every battle, and if we don't, immediately begin plotting our revenge. Forgiveness comes only when we can identify with others and admit to our own imperfections and an equal capacity for wrongdoing. Quote by Law Rochefoucauld: "One forgives to the degree that one loves." That didn't make sense to me, but that's okay. Now that one is only interesting because uh, I'm sure we've all seen it 100 times. with children and grown-ups. There are a few people that I've met in my lifetime that are just like children. You know,
Mm.
I remember, can't remember what job it was, but I was at work, and the gentleman was my boss. He come over and he dove into me like a dump truck. I said, "Oh shit, what have I done?" And off he went. He come back 5 minutes later, patted me on the back, and said, "You're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up." I mean, his ability to change his uh, demeanor was just unbelievable. You know? And it was the kind of person that you kind of admired when you seen him do that, because you thought to yourself, "Holy cow, why can't my friends do that?
Hmm.
And why can't I do that?"
Hmm.
You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure is.
And of course, Reverend Dave, he's just as happy as a lark. Got that heavy old thing off his foot.
Oh gosh.
And I think he said yesterday that it's probably going to be a couple more days before he's going to actually get into the therapy part where he can, put some pressure on the foot and see if they can start getting it to work the way it's supposed to. 'Cause I imagine that's pretty difficult to do when your limb has been hung out to dry, so to speak, for a couple of
Mm.
months, doing absolutely nothing. You know,
Yeah,
it
I'm
takes.
just finding it hard to believe they're keeping him in the hospital this long. It's just a long time.
Yeah, it really is. And but we have to assume they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know why we have to assume that, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
I've never known anybody that had to stay in the hospital that long with anything like this. So kind of shocking. But like you say,
well, it's like anything else. It boils down to money.
yeah.
At least that's mine. I know I worked in a nursing home, and it's sad to say, but it is very true. Uh, some people in a nursing home needs to be able to go to sleep and just
Mm.
move on. Uh, but we have the ability to, in a sense, keep you alive forever,
Yeah.
and I think that is so wrong. Uh,
Yeah, it really is.
I know I had to quit my job because uh, I'm the only word I can think of is giver, but it's a different kind of giving. I had probably 5 or 6 people die while I was there,
Mm. Mm.
but they died because, like, the one that I can think was there was an old lady there that was a school teacher. She used to, when she would have her mind about her, she would talk about teaching her children, and it was a one room school way back in the
Oh.
you know 20s, I guess, maybe 30s.
Hmm.
And she was a very Christian lady. And I remember one day I went in there and she was upset about something. And I just said to her, I said, "I know you believe in Jesus and I know that you trust him. So, I really feel deeply that all you need to do is just let go and let Jesus and move on."
Mm.
Well, that night she passed away,
Oh my.
you know, and maybe I had nothing to do with it, but it just, gives you chills to think that, oh shit, did she just take what I said and she left?
Well, stories are told to me about people who are, relatives,
Hmm.
and several people have told me they've given their mother or their father permission to go home.
Yes,
Jesus.
yes,
And then they died. But a lot of times, people are just holding on because of the loved ones, thinking they shouldn't die because it was
right,
going to, cause hurt or for whatever reason. So
right.
you may have given her that little permission she might have needed. She may have needed that. She was holding on for God knows who, what reason.
Right.
Maybe what you said to her, kind of told her that, it was time for her to go home to be with Jesus.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
in my case, when it happened the sixth time, I said, I can't, this is starting to get to me.
Yeah. I couldn't do it, Robert. I couldn't be in that atmosphere. It would kill me.
Yeah. And I do believe, that to some degree, with older folks, they do. For some reason, they need that permission because
Yeah.
we're so hung up, literally, and I know the feeling because I have it myself. We're so hung up on our children.
Yeah.
We're terrified, especially when you study the Bible and you realize that, the end just might be coming. And you can't help but wonder, oh my, if I'm not here, how am I going to protect him when the shit hits the fan, so to speak? Uh, I'm not going to be here. Well, I have to. I'm not anywhere near dying, but I have to also realize that if I have to go, God and Jesus and everything within that realm will take care of them. I just have to learn to believe that. And if it's time to move on, then I just got to move on. And of course, I'm like anybody else. I've always said, Lord, when you call my name, I'm not buying a shovel. You know what I mean? When you call my name, I'm not going to be ready to go. When you call my name, I might fight you just a little bit. But if you touch me and put your hand on me and say, son, it's time, then I'm going to say, yes, sir. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fun thing. That's what's nice about being able to have someone here to have a little discussion about what we're reading.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go on to the next one here. The next one is called Being Who You Are is Enough for Love. Being ourselves in a world where everyone wants to remake us will always be our greatest challenge. The disapproval of others is a powerful deterrent, but hardly a strong enough reason to be less than who we truly are. If we want to be happy, sooner or later, we will have to assert our right to be accepted as ourselves. I can't think of a more basic human right. I'm often complimented by others who say they find it refreshing that I always seem to be myself. I tell them that I attempted for years to be someone else, and it didn't work. If we desire to be treated as who and what we are, we must define who that is. And a quote by Walt Whitman: there is in sanest hours a consciousness, a thought that rises, independent, lifted out from all else, calm like the stars, shining eternal. This is the thought of identity. Yours for you, whoever you are, as mine for me. Creeds, conventions fall away, and become of no account before this simple idea. I think I understood it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but I think I did. Ah, yeah, it's getting pretty late. I guess Reverend's not going to be able to make it.
No.
I was hoping he would, but I know they probably got him on a routine and there's things he's got to do, and it's not easy to try to keep up with their schedule and then try to keep up with your own schedule.
Yeah. I probably should go because I told a friend I'd call her back. She called while we were on.
Oh,
She's
okay.
got a court date today, so I want to pray with her.
Hope it's not too serious.
Yeah, she's trying to get her kid back. The court took her child away and gave him to the father, and it was a corrupt group, paid the judge off. Just bad stuff, you know.
Oh boy.
So she's been trying. I've known her about a year, and she's been trying about a year to get him back. It's really sad.
Well, we'll just have to pray for her.
Yeah, he was a good student, and he was, in sports and very involved. He's 13 or 14, and since he's been with the father, he's been trying to cut himself, commit suicide. He's doing poorly in school, and he's not involved in any groups, so he's not flourishing with the father.
Yeah, they need
The court doesn't seem to want to, admit that. Poor kid. It's always the kids that suffer, sad.
Yeah. Well, I would say we have to pray for him as much as we do for her.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and give her a call, and I will see you maybe Saturday.
Okay. I'll look forward to that.
Okay, Robert. Well, God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. God bless you, and you have a great and wonderful day.
You too. Talk to you soon.
All righty. All right. I think we got enough time here to go over one more. And then, of course, by that time, I think we'll be done for today. So the next segment that I'm going to read is called Victor or Victim. We can either exercise control over our lives or lose precious time as victims of circumstances. A very close friend expressed to me recently the numbness she felt after her husband left her. The security and routines that she had known for so many years suddenly fell to pieces, and she was faced with nothing but the unknown and a very deflated ego. She was so angry and hurt that for months she was unable to make even the simplest decisions, and was amazed by the advice of family and friends that she try new things, create new friendships, reawaken dormant talents, and even find new love interests. Trapped in her worthless preoccupation with sorting out what had happened and who was to blame, she was going nowhere, except perhaps into depression. She refused to understand that it was her negative self-image over a lost love that prevented her from coming back to life. It took her months of wasted time and energy to realize that moving on was far more productive and exciting than hanging on. There is no reason why we should always equate ending with failure. Loss of love is always devastating, but it can also be a time for airing out stuffy inner rooms, reassessing values, starting anew, and relationships may become stagnant or wither and die, but life and love continue. Quote by Annie Wilson Scott: "We don't make mistakes, we just have learnings." Very interesting indeed. It is very difficult when any tragedy takes place to pick up our marbles, so to speak, and put them back in the little box and move on to newer and higher and better places. It's not easy, not easy at all. But unfortunately, some of us, maybe all of us at one point or another, we have to take that hand and pull ourselves up and just simply move on. But like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Okay, we're pretty much done for the day. Our next segment that we will move into on Saturday is going to be called "Having the Capacity to Love is Not the Same as Having the Ability to Love." So, starting on Saturday, that should be very interesting. So, we'll put up the book for today, and I'm glad everybody that does see this will enjoy it. And I hope when you enjoy it, you'll come back for more. So, other than that, I guess all I can say is to have a great and wonderful day, and hope to see you on Saturday. And if so, then we'll see you then. I want to thank you very much for coming and being here. So have a great day. Thank you very much.